So it's springtime and there's an important task that everyone needs to take care of if you're gonna do it. And I'm gonna talk about that in a few minutes. But first, we gotta get our other chores done, knocked out of the way. We gotta take care of the chickens, take care of the dog and cats, all that other stuff. We're gonna do a survey of our garden, which we do every single day to make sure the bugs aren't getting out of control, the diseases isn't getting out of control, all that other stuff. That's something you should do every single day, is get in your garden. Make sure those weeds aren't going crazy, so on and so forth. So let's all take care of all that first, and then we'll get you to something we just put in the other day. We're so excited about it, and we're gonna talk about that. Let's go. Y'all gonna let me in here? Y'all gonna let me in the door? You know I got a treat. I know, we got an apple in there. Here, let me dump it out. Got some sweet potatoes, a little bit of onion. Here, a little bit of onion. I know you just play with those orange rinds. Hi, don't peck the camera. What you got in there? You didn't like the pea pods? I thought you would like the pea pods. Here, you didn't like the pea pods? I don't have any treat. Y'all keep looking for treats in my hands. Hilarious. Yeah, you're gonna peck my shoe? Okay. I'm sorry. Hi. Oh, look at this. Kitty's saying hello to the cat. That is pretty awesome. But if that wire wasn't there, chicken, you'd be toast. You saying hi again? Look at you two. Oh, kitty, you're gonna get pecked. You don't want any of this stuff? Here. There, have some onion. So I'm in here with the girls. I haven't been here in a while, just chilling out with them. And they seem to like some of the table scraps, but not everything. They didn't like the pea pods, the sweet potato. They go after the onions a lot, the peppers. Of course, they don't eat the orange rinds, they're too tough, but they do play with them. And the idea is to fill this full of decomposed leaves or decomposing leaves or leaves that have just fallen. And she's pecking at my foot. And, oh, pecking at my laces, aren't you? Okay, all right, that's my foot. Yes, that's my foot. Is this more interesting? Is my foot more interesting? Pecking. What was I talking about? The chickens are pecking my feet. The idea is to mix in the leaves and the table scraps. Whatever they don't eat, it's going to break down and it's going to attract bugs for them. They can eat the bugs. They can eat what they want to eat out of the table scraps. And mixed with their manure, this is going to be the best compost for our garden. So I'm so looking forward to this area just becoming so rich. I'm going to continually clean it out and get this on the garden for that benefit of having it. That's part of the reason why we got these chickens. Part of the reason is for the manure, for them tearing up this this compost and composting it quicker, especially with their droppings, and getting that on our garden. This is a great reason to have chickens, beside the eggs, and if you eat chicken, beside the chicken itself. But these are just, they're not pets, but they are, they're for egg laying. You know, they're working girls, right? Well, things are looking good here in the garden. This morning, we got a ton of peas, rocking and rolling. Look at this, beautiful. Look at that, we've got our salvia plant. This is the idea behind putting these types of plants in your garden, is you get pollinators in here that are gonna pollinate all your other fruits and vegetables. So check this out, bumblebee hanging out with a cool butterfly. Looks like tomatoes are doing okay. Last night, I actually planted a few more stragglers that I had because I had some of the cherry tomatoes die off on me. And you see that one right there doesn't look very good. That was planted probably a month and a half ago. I don't know what's wrong with it, but we got some new ones going in. And of course, we've got our problem with our cucumbers. If you want to see what's going on with our garden in detail and some other great information coming up, I'm not going to kind of give it away right now, but we've got a video coming out probably in the next week and a half that will talk about something special for your garden. Oh, I'm not going to give it away, but make sure you stick around, and it's going to talk about what's happening with those cucumbers too. So everything else looks pretty good. Potatoes are doing all right. I got some potatoes, but it's not been a good year for potatoes for me, and I'm not sure why. Probably because of the weather. It's kind of screwing all over the place. Finally got some pinto beans. Check it out. They are starting to bloom out. Pintos are starting to bloom out finally, and it's starting to warm up a little bit, so the okra is finally coming up. That okra was planted back on April 1, and usually it's warm enough in Texas for okra. Okra needs really hot temperatures, and usually it's warm enough here for the okra to go crazy at that time, but we're mid-May and it's just coming up. It's crazy. Crazy weather this year. Ooh, look at this. Look at this. Nice. We've got our raspberries. Check it out. And I think I saw a flower down here somewhere. They're getting a little out of control already. Oh, well, I lost the flower. I don't know where it is, but they're beautiful, like a purpley color. And we're gonna have a lot of raspberries. Look at all these raspberry fruit buds everywhere. They're all over. Can't wait for that. My daughters can't wait for that. My wife can't wait for that. We love raspberries, but hey, this is something we need to talk about in the future. Raspberries. Why? Because if you don't keep them under control, they get out of control really, really, really quickly. So we're going to be talking about that. We did do a raspberry video on this trellis. So if you want to check that out, hit our archives or go up right there and check out that video. So that'll be a good one. Okay, so the garden's looking good. We've got strawberries going, producing finally. We got our beans. The beans are coming up really slow too. Well, the other beans, the pole beans. The pintos are looking good, but the pole beans are struggling. I don't know why. Anyway, Swiss chard, always good, always good. One of the best things to have in your garden. Not only does it taste good, it's a perennial. So anyway, let's go talk about what I want to talk about. It is right over here. Here we go, this is it. It's time to plant your fruit trees or fruit bushes or vines or whatever they are. It's springtime. It is time to get things like blueberries here in the ground. Now we have a very specific method on how to plant fruit trees and bushes. I'm gonna link that video up here in the card so you can go check that out, because I'm not gonna go into detail, but this is the proper time of year to plant all your fruit trees, and you cannot plant enough fruit trees or fruiting bushes like a blueberry. It's obviously a perennial. It's going to give you food every single year if you take care of them. And berries are incredibly high in antioxidants. They're very good for you. And as you can see, our local nursery had these blueberry bushes. They're already loaded full of blueberries. I think these are 2-year-old blueberry bushes. They are the 1-gallon size. They were only $9. And if you can plant as many of these as possible, I think it's a really great idea. We added an additional 4 blueberries to our orchard, I guess you could say, this year, and I wanted a different spot for them, so I put them next to our main vegetable garden here. Well, summer fruits, of course, but next to our main garden space here. And I think this is going to be a wonderful spot to put them. I can actually extend the fence out and around them, which I'm probably going to do because we've got some rabbits, although the dog does chase off a lot of wildlife when he's not just goofing around. But we're gonna have to worry about birds with berries. We're gonna put some netting over it, some bird netting, and that'll help take care of it right away. But as you can see, we got it planted about 8 feet apart, and that's a good spacing to plant blueberries specifically. I'm gonna go show you the other thing that we planted right now, and that one's planted just a little bit far away. further away from its peers, I guess you could say. So let's go check that one out right now. Just walking to the other thing I wanted to show you, this is our other grape and blueberry enclosure. I'm probably not going to do anything this large for the other new blueberries I just planted, but this surely keeps away all the birds and critters from eating our berries and grapes. So this has been a really good thing to have built. All right, what are we getting to here? Let's check it out. Here we go, it's another fig tree. This is our 4th fig tree now, and we've had some really excellent production out of our figs so far, especially planting it with the method that we do. Now all right, I'll let you in a little secret. Before you watch that other video, planting a tree, especially a fruit tree, to get the most production out of it, to give it the best chance possible, is about digging, if you have poor soil, digging the biggest hole that you possibly can for the tree within reason, and filling it with the best nutrients that you possibly can for the tree. So in the case of the blueberries, I mixed some sulfur pellets in with the mixture that I put into the holes, but obviously not with the fig. It doesn't like acidic soil. But this one was planted in a hole that was 3 feet wide by 3 feet wide by about 2 feet deep. And what we do is we fill it with a mixture of peat moss, peat humus, topsoil, and some C90 sea salt fertilizer. So what the C90 is, it's got 90 different trace minerals in it, and we dissolve that up in some water and sprinkle it into our mixture and mix it in. So it's not going to burn or hurt the roots. It's evenly distributed throughout the mixture itself. But doing all that and then putting some mulch on the top, which I still actually have to do for this, putting some mulch on the top, building a little, there we go, we got a little moat around our tree here to hold some water in for it. Especially watering is really important when you first plant your tree. You want to keep it definitely as probably about an inch a week, but in your initial water in, you're going to want to do probably about 6 or 7 gallons of water in that one hole. And depending on the drainage of your soil, of course, you got to be careful. If you have a heavy clay soil and you've created this bowl, you don't want to hold all that water in there. So make sure you know what soil you have, how deep it is, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into all that, but we got another fig because I love fresh figs. They make great fig jam. I will be doing that for you in the future, making some fig jam and putting that video up. So that'll probably happen not until fall, because those figs, they don't start ripening until later in the summertime. Anyway, that's what I wanted to show you. We got a lot going on here on the homestead. We got a lot of tree planting going on, and that's really important at this time of year. So make sure you get that done. And I highly recommend, highly recommend you all have as many fruit trees as you can possibly fit on your property. I was going to talk about the spacing here. You can see this is a jujube tree, which is a Chinese date. Does really well, very pest and disease resistant, and they're really unique things. They taste really good. But these trees are, here's another fig, that's a Celeste fig. Got hit a little hard during the winter time. I need to cover that up next winter. There's the other fig, but all these guys are about 15 feet apart from one another, evenly spaced, so you can obviously cut the grass if you need to, but you need to give their roots some space to properly radiate out and not interfere with any of the other trees. Anyhow, thank you for watching. We appreciate you being here. As always, thank you for hanging out with us on the homestead. We'll see you next week. Make sure you stick around for our Sunday videos. Our weekly videos are vlog style, and our Sunday videos are more of a how-to DIY video. This week coming up, we bought something really cool, and it's the best of this product that I've ever owned. So don't miss that one. Anyway, have a great day. See you next time. Bye.